Hi everyone, this is Jarle from Handmade Card Happy Heart. Thank you for joining me. Today I have a video where I'll be making 2 shaker cards using all Lawn Fawn supplies. I will start by showing you which items I used. So for starters, I used the Giant Birthday Messages stamp set. Then the Simple Stripes backdrop, I have the diagonal version. And then I used the Happy Hibiscus set and the Tropical Leaves set just to die cut a few little hibiscus and a few of the tropical leaves. The leaves from the tropical leaves were a little bit tinier and I thought they matched my Happy Hibiscus and my card way better. So here I die cut the Simple Stripes backdrop twice, once from regular white cardstock and then once from the textured dot cardstock. I think I used the pastel set, so with all pastel colors, and I used the green one. Now I think if I did this card again, I would go for a more pink backdrop or more pink cardstock just to match my hibiscus better. But it's a different color choice than I usually use, so it might be fun for a change. Since I die cut all the stripes twice, I could actually make 2 cards out of this one. And that's what I did. So next I have my oval shape from the Giant Birthday Messages stamp set. And I die cut this oval shape with my die cutting machine. This will hold all my shaker elements later. Then I took some vellum cardstock. I actually used a thicker vellum than I normally would use. And I die cut 2 pieces of that cardstock. Then I wanted to stamp down my sentiment on that vellum. So first of all, I prepped my vellum with my anti-static powder tool. That's very important to use. Since it was a large stamp set and since I was going to emboss it, I really needed to prep my vellum. So I put lots of powder down and then I stamped my image using Versamark ink. And then I clear heat embossed this. You can also use black embossing powder, but I don't have that, and I also think it's quite of a mess using that black powder. So I just used my black ink and then went over it with clear embossing powder. Now here I am putting down some very sticky score tape. It's important that you use very sticky tape for this, because since I went over that vellum with my heat tool, it's kind of warped it a little bit. So that's why I went with the score tape. So here I am placing my sentiment exactly in the middle of that oval shape. This will be the window for my shaker cards, for my shaker elements later. Now, normally I would ink blend a background, but since I have all those pattern paper packs in my stash, I thought it would be fun to use up some of that pattern paper. So I went for a colorful rainbow in the waffle flower paper pack, and I just used that one. Also, I used vellum for my shaker and not acetate as I normally would do, so my background would not stand out as much as it normally would. So that's why I went with just a pattern paper. So now I am taking my foam tape and doubling that up so my shaker elements would have lots of space to move inside the shaker. And I put that foam tape all around my sentiment, all over my card. Now then I used my anti-static powder tool again, just to make sure that the inside of the shaker would not be as sticky. So this really prevents any sequins sticking down to that tape. Then I am taking a few sequins of, I think it was from Little Things by Lucy, and then putting my background on top. So this actually finishes up off my shaker parts. Now off camera I already die cut a few flowers, so actually 2 flowers, one for each card, then a few leaves and also that flower center. Now I wanted that flower center to pop out a little bit, so I took a regular Copic marker and I just colored that in. So that would really let that center of the flower stand out. I used the watercolor wishes paper from the recent Lawn Fawn release to die cut everything. So the leaves were from some blues and some greens, and then my flowers were die cut from the red and pinks. So I taped down, or I glued down my leaves first with liquid glue, and then I popped up my flower just with a tiny foam square. Okay, this finishes off both cards for today. I'm actually very happy with how they turned out. I think the vellum cardstock gives it a very elegant look. They are quite bulky though, so I think I will need a special envelope to send these ones out. I hope you get some crafty inspiration and I wish you a great day. Bye!